When you cold brew sencha tea, not only do you end up with a drink that is cold and refreshing, but you also get to enjoy an entirely different flavor as well. In this video, we're going to teach you how to make cold brew sencha, and we'll also talk about the benefits of cold brewed sencha tea. Before we get started, it would really mean a lot to us if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for future tea videos. We have hundreds of videos on all sorts of topics related to Japanese green tea, but for this episode, we're going to focus on sencha specifically. Without further ado, let's get started. Why should you cold brew sencha green tea? Of course, the most obvious benefit of cold brew sencha is that it allows you to drink the tea cold rather than hot, but there's more to it than that. The temperature you use to brew the tea can change what is extracted from the leaf. It can also influence how tastes and aromas are perceived. For example, a hot tea will have steam coming off of it, which will allow you to get more aroma as you sip it. What about the flavor of cold brewed sencha? When you brew the tea with colder water, you will notice that the taste is smoother and sweeter. This is because the catechins, or bitter components within the tea leaf, are only extracted at higher temperatures. This is why when you boil a tea, it becomes very bitter. When you use cold water, you still extract plenty of flavor from the tea, but you don't get nearly as much of these bitter or astringent flavors. Even if you're brewing a hot green tea, you should still use a lower temperature water to get the most out of the flavor. When it comes to how to cold brew sencha, you can use either cool or room temperature water, 5 to 10 grams of tea leaves, and 500 milliliters of water. You can then use a brewing time of anywhere between 1 to 8 hours, depending on how strong you like the tea. What's the optimal time for cold brewing? One benefit of cold brew tea is that you can actually taste test the tea over time to see if you like the flavor. From our experience, the best time to cold brew sencha tea is for around 3 hours. At this time, the water has extracted plenty of flavor from the leaves, but it's not too long to the point where the tea has become bitter. You can cold brew sencha tea for 1 hour, pour a tiny bit of the tea out, and give it a taste test. You can then repeat this every hour or so until you find the perfect taste. Once you've found the brewing time that you like the most, you can use this next time you cold brew your sencha tea. In our opinion, the best cold brew sencha ratio is 10 grams of leaves and 500 milliliters of water. You may find this to be a little bit too strong, but because cold brew sencha green tea doesn't have too much bitterness, sometimes you can go a bit heavier on the leaves. Feel free to experiment a little bit until you find the best ratio that works for you. What's the best sencha tea for cold brew? After cold brewing many different sencha teas, we have compiled a list of some of our favorites. Overall, the best cold brew sencha has to be the Shizuku sencha. This tea is made with a mixture of sencha leaves and matcha powder, and it's designed to be the ultimate tea for cold brew. The matcha powder mixes into the water to create a cloudy, flavorful infusion. Another cold brew sencha tea we've become quite fond of is the Fukumushi Yamaga. This is a deep steam sencha from Shizuoka, and the cold water really brings out the fruitier, lychee berry notes of the tea. Try it for yourself and see how you like it. When you order tea from us, you're not only helping to support this channel, but you're also helping us to support the dozens of talented farmers we work with all around Japan. We hope that by sharing these farmers' stories and their teas with people all around the world, we can help to transition the tea industry into a more positive, sustainable direction. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next time.